Alrighty, folks. Well, we're somewhere, and the car is not happy, so might as well drive around the parking lot before I call a tow truck, and we can see if we can figure out what this noise is. I really don't know. Let's shut the heat off, roll some windows down, and let's see if we can tell. It's definitely rotational. To me, it sounds like trans or rear, but I really can't tell. So let's see. Oh, that's the rear end.
Is that the whistle coming from the back?
Yeah. Listen to that. Metal on metal. Let me see it. I think you guys maybe can hear that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's not ideal. Not ideal. The engine still runs good. So, seems like it's the rear end, which isn't ideal. Isn't ideal because I have some money into this rear. And another thing as to why I'm thinking maybe it's the rear is we got some fluid inside this back wheel. So I'm wondering if the seal is bad and over time leaked out all the fluid. I haven't checked it in God knows how long. Oh man, my poor baby. She look good though.
Mm-hmm. Wheels look good.
They look good.
Shining.
Yeah, she's a good 40-footer.
Yeah. A good 40-footer.
Okay, I gotta pause this really quick. Just to put it out there that this day that this happened, when this video started, you know, the footage from the beginning of this video, I didn't even do a single pull or a launch or anything crazy in Bonnie this day, all right? No joke, I was driving as calm as humanly possible, just driving up the highway when the crazy grinding noise started, and that was basically when I pulled over and was able to start filming this video. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the TJR Auto channel. My name is Tyler, and in today's video, my precious baby girl, Bonnie, my 2009 she's a 2009 Grand Marquis 5-speed swapped. Bunch of other goodies underneath, and she's a good car. She's a good girl. First car, had her for a long time, and unfortunately, the other day, Bonnie's streak of being good was broken. Now, there is something wrong with this rear end. I'll play some footage from the day that it happened. But in today's video, we got to tear this thing down, see what the hell's going on. And I'm really hoping that the center section of the diff is good. And maybe it's just, you know, outer bearings and seals need to be done. I don't know, though. Aha! Alright, I don't see any chunks, so that's good. Don't see anything looking too scary, which I like. So far, I think we're looking good. But definitely gotta tear into the old girl a little bit more. So, yeah, just super dirty, but honestly, not bad. Not bad for how many miles are on this thing. Alrighty, well, this is a sight that I have not seen in many years, but all I gotta say is these C-clips are absolutely atrocious to get out. This one wasn't bad. The other side was horrible. The unfortunate thing is we obviously have a bad seal here. That's why everything is wet. Both outer bearings feel the same. I'm not seeing anything major with, either one of them that would say, okay, that was definitely the noise I was having. I mean, there's a lot of inner, in and out movement. And it does make some noise, so I don't know. Maybe it just was this. I don't know. I'm just going to say it's probably bearings and seals for both sides. So we'll take that. Well, it is a new day, and I've acquired some Ford Performance, which are actually just Koyo bearings. So we have some Koyo bearings and some seals for the rear end. Now, I've already dumped about 2.5 cans of brake clean into the axle tubes and the rear end. Cleaned everything up very thoroughly. Took a broomstick and a couple of t-shirts and was shoving them in and out of the axle tubes because I want zero dirt in this job, all right? But I know we're doing everything else just so perfectly. When I went to the store to rent the bearing removal tool and the slide hammer, I may or may not have forgotten to pick up the bearing installer tool that they rent. So I'm not going back to the store. I may or may not use the remover tool as an installer tool. And you can't tell me it doesn't work because I already did the other side off camera. And it worked. Time to definitely not do the same exact thing with the seal. And just like that, bearings and seals are done. Everything looks good. So now it's time to clean up the axles, throw them in, and have fun getting these C-clips in. I took some of my new gear fluid and just very gently kind of dribbled it inside of the new bearing, spun it around, got everything covered in oil. I don't know if it's necessary or not, but I figure it can't hurt anything. So let's see how fun this is going to be. Alrighty, C-clip time. Mr. Amazon came and he brought some package Look at that bad boy. Yeah, that's the best thing 60 bucks can buy. So this is supposed to be some sort of nice aluminum finned diff cover. And it also came with the gasket, hardware. Yeah, and you know, 60 bucks. It's nice and flat. I don't know if it's going to do anything cooling wise. I would assume it kind of has to, being finned. So I don't know. We're going to find out. But there was a hole up here, which I believe is some sort of vent towards the, you know, the top of the cover. You can see it's kind of blocked off, not really. So I just shoved the bolt with some RTV on it because I have no sort of fittings that will fit that, and kind of 90 it to put a hose on it or anything. The axle tube itself has a vent already, so I'm not really too worried about that. And then our drain plug, I took out, put some Teflon on, ran it back in as tight as I basically could. So that's good. Probably never going to be able to get that out again. But another nice thing about this is the fact that the drain and fill are on the back cover. I technically don't have to pop the cover off ever again to change the fluid in the rear, which is kind of nice. So let's throw some 90-minute gasket maker on the gasket, slap it on there, throw it on the car. Overall, this piece, honestly, is pretty decent quality. For the price, honestly, I'd recommend it. So hopefully she don't leak. But everything's basically finger tight right now. Gonna give it a couple minutes, then I'll snug everything up. And I believe after an hour and a half, we can pop our fill plug out and fill her up with some fluid. So here's the fluid we're gonna be using. Apparently this bad boy will take about 2.5 quarts. I bought 3, so yeah, I guess we'll see how much it does take. The bags are nice so that you can kind of fish the tip into wherever you need to and then kind of squeeze it and maneuver it wherever you want. Something else about this fluid too, it already has limited slip additive, so I don't have to buy the little bottle of friction modifier to additionally put into the diff. From what I was reading, apparently these do, you know, this exact fluid does just fine on like Marauder rear ends, so I figure it should probably be fine for the Cobra Posi that I have in here. So without further ado, let's fill her up. Wow, it's actually crazy how fast you can blow through fluid filling it up with these bags. That's awesome. That I just wasted a lot of time and money with the rear end because I still hear that scary noise. Bro. even possible? Oh. Oh. Yeah, that's really not good. Wow. Holy shit. Look at that. How the f did that come out of there? That's lovely, isn't it? Isn't that just nice? Isn't that just nice? It's so good. Why? Why you brake like that? And I also might as well show. That was my noise this entire time. It was just that rubbing on the pinion flange. Ain't that just crazy how the world works? See, I was on the right track. I knew it was rear end related. I didn't think it was suspension related. Alrighty, folks. Well, I think that's going to be a wrap on today's video. At least what we did was successful. You know, Bonnie's got some new axle bearings and axle seals, which we did need. Okay, the axle seals were not a waste of time. So in my eyes, the rear end had to come apart basically as much as it did just to do the seals anyways. So I don't think it hurt that we did bearings as well. They're sold in a kit, so it's one of those things where it's like, all right, just do it while you're there, right? So the car has 100,000 miles on it. I've never changed those before, so they were probably the originals. Kind of sucks that they weren't the problem, but it's more preventive maintenance is what I'm going to call it, and act like this was not a waste of time. It is unfortunate that the Wattslink stud is snapped, because that's not going to be a fun repair whatsoever. From the reading that I did online after I found that the stud is snapped, most people actually just buy a whole new rear end when that happens because they can't be bothered to try to get the old one out, because apparently it's a real pain in the ass. So hopefully it's not too much of a fight to get it out, but we essentially need to drop the entire rear end out of the car to get to it, to even be able to get a drill to that point to actually try to drill it out. So that's going to be fun for another day. Obviously, there's going to be some more Bonnie content coming up very soon because we didn't even fix the car in this episode. It is what it is. But as always, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I truly do appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.